minutes hopefully. So I'll be right back. So that was actually a pretty good image of this brush. Alright, so kind of coated this on the inside. And then basically have probably just zip it back up and do the bottom and then the inside, or maybe zip it up, do the inside and then the bottom and the back. But I really want to just keep things as simple and as effective as possible, so I'm going to zip this up. Yeah, because of if things aren't being as effective as I think it is and stuff, it just depends if things aren't being as effective as I think it is and stuff. Yeah, so to hang this one up, I'm probably going to bend the coat hanger and so bend the coat hanger and have a couple of spots to hang this up. So hopefully it works. So I'm going to just start adding some silicone. Alright, so it's a good time to actually, yeah, inside the pocket, using the brush and handle, I would dip it. Was able, and with the handle and things, probably 4 or 5 dips. Kind of keeping this side for any escape, basically, just so that, so I can use a brush and spread a lot of this stuff around. Alright, so there was a number 2 pocket. So you could kind of show you guys. So just 2 dips of the brush. Does have to be too much. And also giving it a little bit of a cleaning and stuff. Try to do a decent job. Weather coating, really do for now. But and there's some up here. So yeah, this brush actually works pretty good. It's a new brush for one, so it's not as contaminated and things, but I could use a lot of the excess. I'm kind of saving the bottom part, but now I could kind of do, so just kind of just adding whatever I can. So, just, using this platter, saves a bunch of mess. I was planning on like a plastic bag. I might, so yeah, there's going to be a little bit more of the harness if I could just bundle things up and then well, kind of do the back of this, some of the back while I've got the camera out and showing you guys how fluid and just touching up and soaking up as much of the it's going to bond with the fibers, everything that's dry in there. This wasn't as weather coated as I'm doing it, so it's basically like making things almost brand new. So I'm gonna finish up this, a lot of this back, and I did the inside, so that's pretty good. And also keeping the mess in a decent system, so that I'm using up as much of the material and things. So definitely one of my best DIYs, I think, for just finally putting everything together in the clutch. You could basically have a lot of things to just basically look at, and the price isn't really that much, or you might put way more stuff into something that is just for your own enjoyment, but just definitely pays off. Keep the mess cleaner. And I'll be right back. So I just hung it up by the shoulder straps, and then on the hanger. And I didn't even brush on anything. I just wiped everything with the bottom. I used kind of like the bottom of the bag and just wipe stuff up. But I'm gonna actually use the brush, wipe this up, and then double check on these two bags. So hopefully, so just hopefully I covered up as much as I can. It's gonna feel all right. So I selected pretty good stuff for my first ones. Yeah, it was just a tough situation to actually figure out how much, how things were, I think, and basically, could finish these last two, uh, on the inside here. So, um, this is the one where I kind of carry rocks, the rock bag, the one that looks like a sleeping bag. And then this one is the I want to try to let it dry for one more day. Like where I've been drawing a few things here and there, and staging where I've been staging a few of these things. So the clear silicone is, or not the clear, but the pure silicone is quite tacky sometimes. You can really tell it's like, present. The thing is, yeah, I missed this spot, so I missed all these other small pockets, so that's probably something that I need to probably get back to, but it's basically, pretty much the same, but it's just, like I could tell, like just from some of the fabric, basically, it's not as soft and as or it's not as I would say soft, or I can't really like just and stuff. It feels a little more sticky, or there's just a little more something to switch out some of these bottles, and then I could kind of feel this right here. It was just more flexible. I mean, I don't know. I can't really tell exactly how different it is, but it can go up to probably a 50%. I mean, if I'm using like the pure mist inside of here also, I'll probably get that. And if I do coat on the inside and outside and stuff, so, and as I'm, going, it does feel different for one, but it's gonna be more different, things like that. So I'm gonna coat as much as I can, but I missed a few pockets on this. I thought I could, get things ready. This is more of a, so with this backpack, I could put this one in with the ropes, pull that out and stuff like that. I'm also, so there's gonna be, a few days basically with bags, but I'm gonna end up having like 8 to 10 bags, just us, water based, coated, and it's basically just how it is. So on this song, this one has a pretty convenient like a clip to it, so I could hang it up and things. So it doesn't have to be exact, just because it's a used bag for one, and two, but so I weather coated this. It feels a little more different. So I got this pocket and things like that to go over and things. It's not gonna like ruin the backpack, at least, but yeah, just kind of hoping I cover up everything. I don't make too much of a mess on the bottles and stuff. Sometimes I can have stuff like pillows, like a plastic bag with pillows, things like that, to keep this stuff from going everywhere, but it's mostly already mixed up. And then so I got 3 bags that are gonna actually, so yeah, I just kind of put this right here and hope it shouldn't fall and stuff like that. But and then I've got, so yeah, just doing what's in front of me, and then stuff like that. And I could eventually like have, you know, have these finished, and I'll, you know, show you guys that I finished it, and I'll talk to you later. So yeah, it's just a lengthy bunch of videos that are going to explain. This is what these bags, what I'm thinking they'll be used for. So coating with the water-based silicone, stuff like that, and as long as a lot of the material. So I'm going to start using 2 hands, and I'll be right back. So there's side, another side, and this bag actually made me really want to try to do this because the material is just really flimsy for one. But you know, I started working on it with the other sections, and just really wanted to try to get this one you know, worked on. So I guess I could do the pocket, and then all that's left is the back. And yeah, so yeah, if it works, I got inside of this pocket, it's all coated and stuff, and you know, stuff like, I've got to also do a lot of other stuff with this, just everything that I can see, figure out on one side, and then I'll just have the back. So I'm gonna move this backpack and then lean back this, and then it should be finished. All right, so you know, water really expands the amount of waterproofing. If I were to just use pure silicone like I did on some of this, it would have taken 1 tube, half a tube, this and that, really tacky. So I'll admit is the final goal, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right, so yeah, you guys can kind of see it comes, you know, just the silicone itself is in its original, you know, starts to try to clear up, basically. So I got even the padded areas and all that stuff. So, and the harness, unclipped it. So it's unclipped, and, but yeah, basically, you know, by putting, you know, putting most of my climbing stuff in this bag, like the ropes and even a I might be wearing a harness. It just depends how I set up my stuff for the day, stuff like that. But you know, just having pretty much like these items, like the bag, depends how, you know. But you know, after I finish up a few things, I start to lose motivation and things like that. But things are, you know, worked on, and then just go out for a day and just figure out, you know, how things actually is. And so yeah, I got everything. I re-zipped up like half of the zipper, so it's more supported. But I got every pocket in there, and even on the zippers itself, I think it's a good thing to coat. Alright, so hopefully I got these finished up. It's just, you know, just a mess right now, and also just maybe it's just we're doing most of this job, I think. Just how supplies and items through a lot of twists, and most of the pockets and half of the underneath. Sometimes things. So I just want to just turn that. I'll be right back. Alright, so I got another separate coat hanger part.